Hello dear students, welcome to Become a GPS, Become a Good Problem Solver event organized by the GEM Foundation. This video is sharing the solution for the senior math problem for October 2025. In the GEM Foundation, we follow a technique called UPER technique for working on the problems, which will help you give some techniques and strategies to approach problems and work towards the solutions. The UPER technique stands for understand, plan, execute, and reflect. So comprehending a problem is very important. As you may say, I have read 2-3 times, but then I'm still not able to understand. So reading many times is not the only solution that will help you understand a problem. But you should have some strategies, which is what we are going to share now. Underline the key terms in the problem and then find what are the information given and what to be found. This will help you focus on important points that is mentioned in the problem. Asking guiding questions. So initially in the BGPS poster that is published in the website, you can see some guiding questions which will help you understand how to approach this problem by asking these questions. So if you keep on doing it, you will build a capability to ask guiding questions on your own for different math problems. And then visualizing or drawing or rephrasing is very important, which will help you bring a confidence of understanding the problem better. And finally, looking for some relationships in the given information and kind of understanding what concepts are related here and that can be applied. Come, let's apply this UPER technique for the senior problem. So let's read it. Shyam deposits a sum of money in a bank which pays a simple interest of 4% per annum. He receives an interest of rupees 95 after 3 months. How much does he deposit in the bank? It may appear a bit tricky, but let's ask the guiding question. What does simple interest mean? Yeah, you might have come across some different terminologies here, so let's try to understand them. Simple interest simply mean that 4% or simple interest mean it is 4% of the deposit money. So for example, if you are depositing 100 rupees, then 4% of 100. I know from the percentage lessons you should have understood what does 4% of 100 mean. It means 4% is 4 by 100 times 100 rupees, and then these zeros gets cancelled, you get 4 rupees. So if it is 100 rupees, 4% of 100 is 4 rupees. And what does per annum mean? Per annum mean yearly. So this 4 rupees, you get it for an year. So 4% of 100 for an year. So if you keep the amount for an year, you will get 4 rupees. So that is what is being mentioned here. So you are able to understand what does these new terms, simple interest and per annum mean. Now let's come to the second part of the question. He receives an interest of rupees 95 after 3 months. Okay, so you told up for a year and now it is getting after 3 months. So what does it mean? Is basically we can try to do some visualizing. So he is having some amount which we don't know. Yeah, but then what does 4% refers to? It is referring to some amount here which is 4% of this amount, right? So we know the rate which is 4%. Do we know the amount? Yeah, how much he gets we know, but then it is given as 3 months. So you basically this entire year, if this is a year, after which you get some simple interest, which is this 4% amount is what you are getting for an year. This can be actually given as installments also. Installments meaning instead of a year, it can be paid in quarterly basis. So a quarter of a year, it can be 3 months, right? Because 1 by 4 times 12, you get 3 months. So every 3 months, this can be paid. For example, in our case, if you have deposit 100 rupees, you get 4 rupees at the end. But then you can be paid every quarter. How many rupees? So if the total is 4 rupees at the end, and you divide by a quarter, which is 4, so you get 1 rupee, right? So 1 rupee you get every 3 months. So this is a simple example that helps us to understand this problem. Now let's work on this information given. Instead of 1 rupee, they are telling you have got 95 rupees. So what does that mean? So this is an entire year which is divided into quarters, which is 3 months, right? Every 3 months you are getting 95 rupees. So will you be able to find how much is the total simple interest for a year? Yeah, that can be the first information to be found. So simple interest you have got for an year. So how to find it? It is already seen here. So 95, 95, 95 4 times. So repeated addition is multiplication. You multiply by 4. 95 times 4 is rupees 380. Right? So you get 4% of some amount and that is 380 rupees. Yeah. So now we understood how much amount he has got for a year, right? He'll be getting for a year actually. So the second thing that we wanted to find is how much does he deposit in the bank? Oh, okay. So I know how much he will get, and I know how much is the percent. How to find how much he deposited? So here is what in the steps in that program we learned an interesting concept of percentage with this formula. So it's a very important formula. We'll post different videos regarding this on percentage. So the percentage is the value, right? Percentage is the value, how much you have got from the base and the multiplied by the rate. So basically, if you have 100 rupees and you have a rate of 4%, what is the value of 4% of 100? So the 4% of 100 is what is the value? 4% of 100 is 4. Basically, this is 100 times 4 by 100. It's a very important idea concept in percentages, which you all should be kind of able to map. So in our case, what does it mean? It means, do we know the percentage value? What are the things that we know here? Do we know the base? Base meaning how much money is deposited? No, we don't know the base. Do we know the rate? Yes, we know the rate. It is 4%. Do we know the percentage value of 4%? Yes, 4% is something is 380. So we know the value is 380. And what do we need to find? We need to find the base. So now it can be easily applied that when P is equals to B times R, and then if you want to find B, what do you need to do? You just need to divide P by R. It is the multiplication fact. So if, for example, 20 is 4 times 5, how do you find the 4? It's nothing but 20 divided by 5 is 4. Same thing we are doing here. So base is nothing but percentage value by rate. What is the percentage value here? It is 380 divided by 4%. So you should not just put 4 because the percent belongs to 4 divided by 100. So percent always mean it is 400, right? So 380 divided by 4 by 100. So dividing by fractions, you take it in the numerator. So this will be 100 divided by 4. So if you're confused with this, you can actually also do this way with decimals. So 100 by 4 is nothing but 0.04. So if you want to multiply this, you have two zeros here. So you multiply by 100 to have it as a whole number. 0.04 into 100. So you get 38 into 100 divided by 4. Same thing like here. So these are two different ways of approaching or working out this problem using fraction division or a decimal division. That's all. So anyway, further we are actually going to work how many times 4 will go. So please do not multiply the number and divide by 4. See if you can simplify and then multiply next. So 4 here goes 25 times, and 25 times 380 will actually be 9,500. Okay, so what does this 9,500 mean? It is the base value. Base here refers to the deposit amount. Like the 100 rupees, we took an example, right? Deposit money is rupees 9,500. And we always say in our UPER technique that please do take time to reflect if your answer is correct. So let's do that also here. So when you find the deposit is 9,500, let's check if that is correct. So if your deposit is 9,500, what does 4% of it mean? So 9,500 into 4 by 100. So you can cancel these two zeros and then you get 380 rupees. Right? So 4% of 9,500 is 380 rupees, and you get a quarterly amount, right? Every 3 months. So what does that mean? 380 divided by 4. So you should not tell that here after 3 months, should I divide by 3? No, it is like this visual will help you understand. 3, 3, 3, 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, right? So you should divide by 4 because it's a quarterly thing. So this is where underlining will help us understand an important point after 3 months. So every time after 3 months means there are 3 months. This is like four quarters in the year. So 380 divided by 4 is rupees 95. So that is correct as is given in the information, right? So we have applied a lot of concepts here like the percentage and then fraction division or a decimal division, and then also fractional multiplication and understanding some new concepts. So that I think should kind of interest you of understanding new concepts like the simple interest and the what does the annum mean. I hope you enjoyed working on this problem, and please do participate in BGPS event that is organized every month. You can watch the our Instagram or YouTube post or LinkedIn post where we post on the middle of the every month, and we give 15 days to work on it and submit for your solution by the end of the month. Thank you.